And we're
back.
And we're back.
Let's see here. We've got some questions, it looks like. Looks like...
what's the Fathead logo on the front fender?
Fathead logo?
Fathead is a sponsor. Fathead.com.
Yep.
You can buy a Fathead. After this race, we will have a Fathead available of the number 4. So
wow.
you can
I'm going to have one then.
Yeah,
I'm definitely going to buy one.
Yeah, you can have a number 4. The company Fathead donates a portion of all the proceeds of the Fathead to the foundation.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, Fathead guys, they make these giant poster cutout type of things that stick to the wall. Football players.
But they don't ruin your wall. They're really cool.
Exactly.
I have one all over my kids' room.
And so I guess they're going to do one of our race car, which is amazing. And they've got, you think of a famous, the 54 car pulling out right now, our 54 entry. But you think of famous athletes or sports teams and mascots, things like that. And they generally have a cutout of it, and you put it on your wall, and it doesn't actually permanently ruin it, as Jill said.
Right. No.
So yeah, and now there's gonna be one of the cars. So that means I'm gonna have like 15 of them in my room.
I was gonna say, so we know what Ryan's new wallpaper is gonna be.
Exactly. Yeah. I'll probably try to use it as a towel, a blanket, all that stuff.
Yeah, you do. You need one for your man cave. That's right.
Oh, perfect.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see here.
Where can I find a video link for the PSA? Actually, on ctf.org, you can go. The PSA is on ctf.org under our video section. And I think it's also on our Racing for Research Facebook page and videos.
Okay, cool. Very good. Let's see here.
How
are the Indy drivers doing?
How are they doing?
We don't have any Indy drivers on our team. I can look up real quick and see that Rafael Matos is 3rd. He raced for Lescar Dragon. We have John Fogarty was a Formula Car standout. He's P7.
We got Max Pappas.
Max Pappas.
He's in 11th.
Yeah, he's 11th now, a NASCAR star.
Right.
And then let's see. We've got our timing and scoring more based on the GT cars. So I don't think there is any GT cars. That sound you just heard was a Mazda going into turn 1 there. Extremely loud down here. Let's see. The BMW is fast. Let's look up. That BMW is a rocket ship. We couldn't believe they didn't get the pole in qualifying. It was fast last year as a BMW M6, and now they've got it rebodied with a little bit different suspension as a BMW M3. And the Turner guys have been doing BMWs for 15 years and winning races that whole time. So they should be that fast. You're welcome. Let's see. Got some. I noticed up ahead somebody had asked if Andy's car is going to be starting from the back. They had a small issue with the wing in qualifying, and it was one of these things that was like 64 thousandths of an inch off, and doesn't make a darn bit of difference with making the car go faster. In fact, at Daytona you want as little wing as possible, so you have a higher top speed. Right. But they definitely they got thrown out of tech, and so that moved us up to 6th. So we'll take the
rules
spot.
Rules is the rules, I guess.
But yeah, exactly.
Right?
They'll get it fixed for the race, and it'll be totally fine. The
Andy, doesn't matter for Andy.
Yeah, you know, I mean, he basically didn't like the pressure I was putting on him when I was in 6th, and he was leading.
What's your number?
Number 4, guys.
Number 4.
Racing4research.org. Think about it like that. As you say that, the 4 car goes into turn 1 right now.
Yeah, we got Rich Zons in the 4 car on the track right now.
Yeah, Rich, this is probably the most he's driven all day. He's already at a 56.4. Really want to see him get in the 54s. So that'd be a really good pace for him. 56 is nothing to be. Oh, there we go. 55.5. And he's, like I said, this is the most he's driven today. So
that's great.
But yeah, to answer that question, number 4, Racing4 Research. We are in fact the first GT car with a single-digit number ever in Rolex GT.
We got special dispensation from Grand Am because traditionally the numbers 1 through 10 are reserved for DP cars.
Exactly, and so there's been GT cars that were like 07 or 09
but
or
we're
04.
a single-digit.
We're the first single-digit GT car, which is very, very cool. Expected weather for the race, guys, is going to be, as JC Beckner just asked, is going to be basically what it's been today, 65 to 75 and sunny and beautiful, hopefully, and that's what we're looking forward to.
Good stuff.
It's a little chilly right now, but generally Daytona, believe it or not, gets cold at night. People don't generally believe that. Last year at the test days, it snowed and iced, and the track was icy. It was crazy.
Oh, and last year at the track, it was a mess.
Yeah,
the rain was crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
We did not have that scheduled, thank goodness.
The A10 Ferrari withdrew. Do you know the straw that broke the camel's back? I heard they had an issue with sponsorship. They were trying to get the car in for the race, and apparently some sponsorship that they had hoped for didn't come through. So that car is actually sitting right next to our car in the garage right now, which is a shame because it's a beautiful Ferrari and it's not going to race. But that's what it is. Corvette, number 2 and number 3, they're classified as GTS. That's true. And also, in 2002 or 2003, Grand Am went from a traditional SRP2 LMP style like the American Le Mans Series into what is now Daytona Prototypes and GT. So since the Daytona Prototype Low Life Grand-Am Series was created, which was, I believe, 2002, 2003, there hasn't been any single-digit GT cars. But good, exactly what we thought. And then we were actually trying to remember, Andy and I were talking about this when I saw that we were going to be the number 4 car. We were like, well, what guys were in the 4 Corvette? Because we knew that car did really well, but then we remembered it was number 2. Those of you James Gouet and Patrick Dempsey fans, Patrick Dempsey's car just went by us here in pit lane. And
let's see.
Patrick
looks like Dane Cameron's
in the car right now. And actually, you know, Dane is in the 41 and Patrick's in the 40, and both those cars look identical, very similar, just went by. Which car is running the 2-stroke I keep hearing? That is definitely one of the Mazda rotaries that are out there. They're by far the loudest cars in the field over the Daytona Prototypes even. Last minute update, Guy Cosmo. I understood that he got a seat fitting this morning and was all buckled into the car, and then a guy showed up with some sponsorship that basically kind of took over the ride. And so he sat there for a few minutes thinking he had a ride, and then he didn't 10 minutes later, which is a shame because Guy's very, very fast. 40 is actually red, yellow, and orange, so nothing like the 41. They all look the same to me. I see a Mazda, and I kind of don't even look at it. But,
yeah, it was the 41 that just went by.
Yeah. Last year they looked a lot closer, but I guess they're doing a special paint scheme with
Dempsey's
the Florida
in the
sun or
Fresh
something.
in Florida.
Yeah, there we go. That's correct. So
sad.
But yeah, we're winding down here in night practice, guys. There's about 8 minutes left in the session. This is the longest session we'll have before the race starts. And even though it's dark, it's a good time to get everybody acclimated with the car. And it looks like Rich is still working on those 55s, which is a good pace because everybody slows down a bit in the race, and we're not so concerned with the really fast guys as much as we are the guys that are there all night long and getting to the end. So his 55 pace is pretty good right now. We'll take it.
So how are you feeling physically? You feel like you're ready to really crank out some
I've been working out really hard getting ready for this deal, just knowing that I was the young guy in the car. Whether I was the fastest or slowest, I know if guys are getting tired, they're going to say, well, put the younger guy in, and that'll be fun for them. But I feel pretty good. The car's really easy to drive now, and that was something that we've been working on since the test days, so I'm pretty happy with it. Frantic Fury, we were just talking about the weather a second ago. The weather it's very nice. It's 65 and 75 degrees in between, and sunny, and it's supposed to stay dry all weekend, so we're excited for that.
It should be great.
Racer Girl, it's my first year watching, so what are the cars in the race? Oh, there's a whole slew of cars. We got Porsches, BMW M3s, Mazda RX-8s, a couple Camaros, a couple Ferraris, and then we also have the Daytona Prototypes, which they kind of look like airplanes that are on the ground. They're really cool looking race cars.
And they have a variety of engine manufacturers.
Yeah, all sorts of different stuff, but Chevy, BMW, Ford, Porsche, exactly. Am I ready for the Continental race tomorrow? I'm looking forward to that, Lightning. We qualified, I think, 12th or something today. I didn't get much time in the car, but I did drive it, and it was very good. Yeah. And Daytona is a crapshoot. There's so many. The last question is pretty good. So many things that can happen in that race that makes it go crazy. So. Once again, our 54 car is leaving. I see
a note about the movie Le Mans and talking about how the shadows between sunrise are they disorienting.
You know, the hardest part about driving here isn't sunrise, it's sunset. Yeah. The sun sets generally down towards turn 1. And so as you're getting into the biggest braking zone on the track, where you're coming off the banking into a tight hairpin like that, the sun coming down your eyes can be kind of bad. And on top of that, the giant grandstand goes down to single tier. Right. So the sun's in your eyes a lot longer than it would be on other parts of the track. Mm-hmm. The sun coming up is generally not that bad. It comes up on the backside of the track. On the backside, we're just coming out of the banking, so it's okay. It's not a big deal. Let's see.
How's the vegan life help with conditioning?
I'm not a vegan, so I actually tell people
just your friends.
I'm a non-practicing vegan.
Excellent.
So that's great for me. Chicken and all that stuff.
What's that? Do you just eat the meat?
Actually, I have to make up what they don't want to eat.
Excellent.
So, what do I think about iRacing? I like iRacing. I just don't have a computer simulator. I do the PlayStation 3, Gran Turismo. And but every now and then I get to get on iRacing with Spencer. A good friend of mine, Eric Foss, is like the iRacing champion, and so I get to play with him sometimes. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Speed breaks down each time.
What do you?
That is a Spencer question. Spencer and Andy both they work out extremely hard to get ready for this race. Right now I think Spencer's about 100 yards that way, so I'll have to answer for him. But I know Spencer and Andy are both really physically fit guys. They work on, same kind of stuff that guys that eat a lot of protein do, just cardio. And, they're firm believers that you can get the same kind of nutrients you need out of a lot of different stuff. So they eat a lot of tofu and things like that also have protein, and they keep really healthy. Entering and exiting the road course, feeling different with the new asphalt. Yeah, it's a lot better now. It used to be very, very bumpy into turn one. We'd get the ABS in the Continental class would act up quite a bit over the bumps, and then just these cars going into turn one used to be extremely bumpy, and so it's easy to get out of shape, and it actually made it harder to drive fast. So it kind of separated the boys from the men, so to speak. However, there'll be a lot less incidents, I think, in turn one now because it's not as bumpy, and that's a very good thing as well. Going out of the going out of turn 6 onto the oval, it's like glass. This place is like a pool table now on the banking, so it's very, very nice.
What do you think that'll be like during the early race? When we're bunched up.
I think it's going to be no big deal. Fortunately for us, we're starting near the front, and knock on wood, everybody around us they're up there for a reason, so they'll be really cool head and calm, and that was kind of a goal we were looking for, to be closer to the front. But the paving here is fantastic. They did an amazing job. The NASCAR race here is going to be insane.
Yeah,
they're going to be 4 and 5 wide all the time.
Yeah, they were saying NASCAR was asking for lane striping.
Yeah, that's the white lines that are here,
yeah.
and we actually use those for braking markers, like going into turn 1. So when we were here without them, it was like, where do you brake?
Where do you go, right?
But
are you an F1 fan?
Yeah, absolutely. My dad worked with McLaren for a long time with a side company that was called Project 4.
Neat.
And so I've always been a big F1 fan. Those cars are amazing, and those drivers are physically very, very talented. They're really, really good.
I like Portland race fan who told Kevin that Andy's time was disallowed.
Ooh, that's a good question. Favorite driver in F1
Boss man just walked by. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Favorite driver, if I have one of all time, I like a new one every day. You know what I mean?
Juan Manuel Fangio.
Fangio was the man back in the day. You know what I mean?
Bomb,
but how would Fangio have done with downforce? You know what I mean?
I'm sure it'd be great. That's a fair question.
It's such a hard thing to look at over the years, and a lot of people always say that. They go, would Michael Schumacher have been the man in a 1938 Alfa Romeo with no, skinny bicycle tires on it and stuff? So.
Go Vettel. Oh gosh, all the F1 fans are coming out.
I like both of those guys. I like Weber a bit more because he's kind of the older guy, and generally I'm go for the younger guys. But Weber is definitely not the number one there in my opinion. So it's cool to see him be able to fight all the way to the last race of the year and be considered a number 2, and then do it with a broken shoulder. That was pretty cool.
Project 4.